Hi, Mrs. Jacobs here, physics teacher at Naperville North, here to do a tutorial on how to solve for any variable using a kinematic equation. This is in our constant acceleration unit, and these are the four kinematic equations. You can see that each one has four variables, but it's kind of missing a fifth variable. For example, this first equation doesn't have displacement, delta x. This second equation doesn't have final velocity, VF, okay? And we will be using that fifth variable to kind of identify which equation we're going to choose to solve a problem. I call it the missing variable. Now, in our class, you don't have to memorize these equations. You just have to be able to use them. They will be printed on the quiz or written on the board. So how do we solve a problem with a kinematic equation? You're going to do a sketch of the problem with labeling what you know. You define your known and unknown variables. And whatever is that missing fifth variable will help you pick the kinematic equation to solve. You're going to, I'm going to put on here, write out the equation, then plug in and solve. Sometimes if you don't write out the equation, you make mistakes. And then finally, does your answer make sense? Let's do a sample problem. We have a boat that starts at a speed of 6 meters per second and speeds up at a rate of 1.5 meters per second for a total of 10 seconds. Here's my boat. It doesn't say if it's moving right or left. I'll just go ahead and say it's moving right at 6 meters per second. And this 1.5, that's the acceleration. I can tell by the units, meters per second. So I don't know the final velocity, but it's moving to the right. It's getting faster. And they want to know how many meters the boat went. So I'm going to list out all 5 variables: initial velocity, final velocity, acceleration, displacement, and time. Doesn't matter what order you put them in. My initial velocity was 6 meters per second. My acceleration, I'm going to put positive 6. If I'm speeding up, my acceleration has to be in the same direction as my velocity. So acceleration is also positive 1.5 meters per second in the positive direction. My time is 10 seconds. And they want displacement. They don't say how fast is it moving at the end. They say how far did it travel. That's a meters question. So I don't care about final velocity because they didn't give it and they didn't ask me for it. That's what I call the missing variable. So now we're going to pick the equation above that has 4 of them, but is missing final velocity. And that is this equation right here. This is the one that does not have final velocity in it. I'm going to write it out. I'm going to plug in what I was given. I don't know my displacement. That's still delta x. I know my acceleration. I know my time. I can't forget to square that 100. It's going to be 10 squared is 100. Plus initial velocity times time. This is where I pull out my calculator. 0.5 times 1.5 times 10 squared is 75. It's going to be in meters plus 60 meters. The answer is 135 meters. I asked myself, does that make sense? I got a positive answer. And that makes sense because if it's moving in the positive direction, I should be moving positive meters to the right. Let's do another problem. A cart is released from rest at the top of a ramp. Okay. When it says release from rest, that means its initial velocity is 0. Okay. At the bottom of the ramp, so it's kind of speeding up as it goes down the ramp. The final velocity is, let's kind of move down to the next lane, but it's 2.8 meters per second. And I know the acceleration, it's 0.65 meters per second per second. How much time was the cart on the ramp? So my initial is 0. My final is positive 2.8. My acceleration is also positive. Whenever I'm speeding up, my acceleration and my velocity will be in the same direction. Displacement and time. They say how much time was the cart on the ramp? Okay. They don't care about displacement. They didn't give it to you and they didn't ask for it. So that's my missing variable. The equation, you're trying to find an equation that doesn't have delta x. All of these have delta x except for this first one. So I'm going to pick the first equation, VF equals AT plus VI. I plug in my final velocity. I plug in my acceleration. I put T for time, put 0 for initial velocity. So to solve this algebraically, it's just going to be 2.8 divided by 0.65. I'm getting 4.31 seconds equals time. Time should always be positive. Can't end up with negative time because it's a scalar. It doesn't have direction. So that makes sense. Okay, last sample problem. This is a car moving to the right and slowing down to a stop. That's huge. If I slow down to a stop, my final velocity is 0. And it travels 200 meters. And it slows down at 8 meters per second per second. That's the acceleration. How fast was it moving at the beginning? They want to know initial velocity. Final velocity is 0. Initial velocity is unknown. The acceleration is what's important here is if the car is moving to the right and it's slowing down, the acceleration has to be in the opposite direction. That's the definition of slowing down. So it's not 8 meters per second per second, it's negative 8 meters per second per second. Okay, acceleration and displacement have to be in opposite directions to be slowing down. The displacement was to the right, the acceleration is to the left. The time is not known. It's also not asked for. Time is the variable they don't care about. Time is the missing variable. So I have to pick an equation that doesn't have time, which is the final equation. It's missing T. VF squared zero squared equals 2 times negative 8 times 200 plus VI squared. I multiply 2 times negative 8 times 200 and I get 3,200. I move the 32, I'm sorry, I get negative 3,200 because of that negative 8. When I move the 3,200 to the other side, it becomes positive. To get initial velocity, I have to take the square root of both sides. The square root of 3,200 is 56.57 meters per second, which is pretty fast. Maybe this was a race car. Okay. Now I will say, it is possible to do these problems other ways. You know, let's say you chose, instead of choosing this equation, let's say you chose the equation that had time in it. Okay. And you solve for time first, and then you use that to then solve for final velocity. That's fine. Okay. You can do these problems in 2 steps. I just kind of demonstrated how to solve them in 1 step. Hopefully this was helpful. And and gave you some good practice with the kinematic equations.